Hey, what's going on, guys? The HG Mighty Strike Freedom Gundam. It's quite the name, and it should be quite the kit. I've really enjoyed this line so far. The HG Seed Freedom releases have been nothing short of amazing. You know, say what you will about the designs, maybe you like the designs or not, but as far as the kits go, they're fantastic. So definitely looking forward to checking out the Mighty Strike Freedom here today with its big golden wings and massive katana and everything. It's going to be pretty cool. Let's go ahead and check it out for today's video. Alright, so first off, beautiful box art here on the front, and I'll tell you guys, at the moment of recording this, I believe the Seed Freedom movie just became available on Netflix here in the US, and so while I've not watched it yet, I will try to watch it in the time between now recording the unboxing and then coming back and recording the review portion of the video. But once again, as it goes with these kits, we have a beautiful artwork here of the Gundam on the front there with all those glowing gold bits and everything, the glowing pink parts there on the backpack as well, which I can only imagine is going to be stickers here for the kit anyway, but that does look really, really nice. Same thing here on the ends of the box, and you can see this is actually number 250 in the line, which is a pretty cool number. And then on the bottom here, we can see about the seed action system, which is just pointing out some of the finer points of the articulation. Here we can see the built and painted kit there, about the shoulder, and then over here some more about some of the different things that you can do with this, combining the guns and everything that you can do with the normal Strike Freedom, but then we have some added bits like the disruptor there in the head, which can be deployed with swappable parts there, as it's letting us know. We've got the new part there for the katana, and it says there the blade features 2 types of material giving off a glorious sheen, so anxious to see how that's going to look here in just a moment. But on the other end of the box, or the top of the box anyway, we have the unpainted state here, which shows just the kit straight built out of the box without any painting, and then nice front and back images there of the fully painted kit. A little bit over here about the story, and with that we can go ahead and pop open the box and see all of our contents in here. Let's check out the instruction manual first, where on the top we've got that box art here minus the text, so you get a nice full view of that. Well, text is at the top there, but anyway, nice fuller view of that looks really cool. Down here on the bottom half we have our illustration of the Gundam, and then text about the Gundam there in Japanese and in English. You can check that out. Over here about Kira Yamato, there we have some text in Japanese and English there, and then about compass down there at the bottom as well. Okay, on the back side of the manual, some more just quick information about some of the different weapons and equipment that it has. Not too much information, basically just the names of all of the equipment and everything that we have here for the Gundam. In typical Seed fashion, we have some very obscure naming here going on with the Volans Hasta Railgun, the Tvashter Hyper Impulse Gun, the AVS Futsunomita, which is the sword there, and the Convergent Heavy Nuclear Beam Cannon Disruptor there on the head as well. So yeah, lots of interesting naming as usual. A little bit more about the seed action system there, and then down at the bottom, our color guide is here as well. On the inside of the manual, we've got our parts list right there, which is in full color. And as far as the construction goes, it's going to be all just in black and white throughout the manual. But if we go to our very last page here, it's just the last bit of construction and just kind of a little bit about how to utilize some of the gimmicks of the kit, and that's pretty much it. And as for our foil sticker sheet, not too bad here, considering some of the other releases in this line have had a pretty large sticker sheets. We've got ones for the eyes and some head cameras and stuff there, some other camera bits, some blue and red striping bits, not too bad. But no, wait, because we've also got our plastic stickers here for all the pink striping bits on the wings. Now the plastic stickers, as I've talked about before, and this one doesn't really seem quite as thick as I've seen in other cases, but it's basically a foil sticker with a thin layer of plastic over the top to give this a more, plasticky look to them anyway. So when you have them on the kit, they look like actual pink metallic plastic rather than just stickers on top of your plastic. Alright, getting into the runners then, no polycaps, but we do have some beam saber effect parts here. SB13 in a clear reddish pink, and runner A here is in 4 colors: blue up at the top, yellow on the side, red across the bottom, and then black through the center. And this also confirms for me one thing that I was wondering about this kit, is if it was going to be based at all on the HG Revive Strike Freedom Gundam, and it is definitely not. All of our runners here for this kit going to be carrying the new label of Mighty Strike Freedom Gundam on this, so it's a completely new original kit, which is fantastic. A lot of you guys were probably already aware of that, but me not having looked at it very closely, I wasn't sure if it was going to be using some of the parts of the Revive kit or not. Anyway, here on runner B1 and B2, we have all of our white parts there for the kit. Runners C and D is going to be all of our gold parts, but a slightly different gold. The D runner here is in a little bit darker, and the C runner is in a little bit lighter and a more glossy finish with this plastic here on the C runner, which you can see especially here on those parts there for the wings. But then we have our hand parts and some other joint parts here. Any of the frame that's going to be visible, we have all of our gold parts here for that. Runner E1 is going to be some parts here in a very, very light gray, kind of off-white color there. And I lied before saying runner B was all of our white parts. Of course, we have some more white parts here. Runners F1 and F2, mostly parts for the wings, it looks like. Lastly then, runners G1 here is in this gloss black, and it's very interesting. I guess this is what they were talking about on the box with it having a glorious look, in that the sides of the blade is kind of a slightly more matte finish and the actual blade is more gloss, so it does have a kind of a two-tone look to that, which is kind of interesting. And then runner H1 here is going to be our clear blue parts, one for the head and then one for the beam shield there. Of course, as you can see, this does have that iridescent injection into the clear blue plastic here, which gives it that really, really nice look. And so that's it for all the runners. Let's go ahead and take a look at the kit. Alright guys, here is the kit all put together. It was a really fun build. I will say it always kind of amazes me that Bandai can still come up with new ways to put kits together, like putting the torso together on this particular kit. I was just thinking, like, I've never put together an HG torso that was exactly quite like this before, so it's always really amazing when Bandai just kind of continues to one-up themselves with releases like this. But whatever you think about the design, you know, love it or hate it, it's another example of the Seed Freedom HG series really overperforming when it comes to just the engineering of these kits being just really, really nice. So let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories here first, and then we'll get into the kit in a bit more detail. And firstly, you'll notice that I have it on an Action Base 7 here. It doesn't include the base, of course, I just have it there just because you can probably get the kit to stand on its own without the use of an Action Base, but just because it is obviously going to be very back heavy with that backpack, just made it easier to display and show you guys with the use of an Action Base. So I would recommend that, even though it does not come with one. And here we have our two clear pink beam saber effect parts for the beam saber handles, which are stored here in the side skirts. Now, that's one thing that is going to be a little bit frustrating about this kit, is that these beam sabers, the handles here in the side skirts can just fall out very easily when you touch them, but they do have a nice design, nice detail to them, and with the beam effect in place there, they look pretty cool. And you can use these separately, or if you want to combine them, they of course can combine, but rather than actually combining them, we're going to parts form basically just by using this separate piece, which is a solid piece, and then like with the two end pieces added on there. So if you did want to use the beam saber handles connected into one long double-ended beam saber, then you can just use this part instead, which I quite like. Some people might not like the fact that it's a parts forming kind of thing, but I like this. It just makes it more stable. You're not having to worry about this like coming unattached there at the middle or anything. And then speaking of holding, as far as our hand options go, the holding hands that we have here on the kit are unfortunately the only hand options that we have included. Really would have been nice to have some open expressive hands included as well, but unfortunately we do not. For our other sword weapon, of course, here we have the katana, which I'm still getting used to seeing this in black. I do really wish that this would have been in silver, although again, I'm guessing that there is a reason why it's in black. And the two-tone effect, while not super obvious, is kind of interesting how you have that glossy surface there for the blade, and then the body of the sword has a more matte kind of satin finish to it. It's interesting looking, and this can be stored here on the backpack. You can see it's not symmetrical at like the point where the wings connect into the center part. On this side, we have a spot for where this sword is going to attach into there, and that's just going to be held on there like that. So that works pretty good. And then we've got our two beam rifles, which have a lot of stickers on here. So let me just talk about that briefly. Most of the foil stickers that we have for the main kit, not including the backpack anyway, are going to be here on the beam rifle. So you have this red one that wraps around at the front, these long blue ones. There's one that wraps around the side, and then another long blue one that goes around the top of that long part there. Another blue one which goes around the top of like where the camera is, another blue one that goes on the front of that part, and then an actual camera sticker there in that red one. So that's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stickers here just on each of the two beam rifles. And for all intents and purposes, they look relatively symmetrical, but they are going to be asymmetrical. As you'll notice, they have a hard point on the left and the right side. That's going to be for attaching these onto the side skirts here. When not in use, you can fold the handle in and attach these onto the side skirts onto a little peg right there like that for storage, which is pretty cool. But aside from that, these are asymmetrical because of course they fit together. So for this one, we're going to pull that back part back slightly. This is going to be the handle we're going to use. And for the other one, we're going to fold the handle up and then rotate this part down like that at the back, extend out the barrel like so, and then basically plug them in together here like that. And we have our long beam rifle, which is certainly very long there, and this can also be stored on the back skirt using that peg right there. Underneath all the backpack and everything, you can plug that right up into there into the back of the back skirt for storage if you prefer that option. And last couple things here, our beam saber effect part. This can be used on either the left or the right side just by removing that red part, popping this on there, and then putting the red part back on again over the top of that. And then our part for the beam cannon in the head is also going to be a parts forming gimmick here. You're going to have to swap out that yellow part, and it's actually a yellow and a red part. They are two separate parts for just when it's not in use, but for when it's in use, when you want to use that beam cannon here, it's one single part, and then you have a couple of stickers on there. So the gray and the red, they're seeing for like the open doors of that beam cannon there. It's wraparound stickers that fit on those parts, and they look kind of decent from a distance, maybe not really the greatest stickers for that, so it's a detail that you may want to consider painting. And a couple other things to note here while we're in on the head, I did also remove the safety flags on the V-fin parts just to sharpen those up and make those look a little bit better. And our only other stickers here on the main body of the kit are just going to be the eye stickers, which I've got on there right now. Otherwise, that part is just clear blue. And then we have stickers for the cameras on the head, 2 on the front and 2 on the back, also with this metallic blue. But like I said, that clear blue part for the eyes is also a clear blue part that goes up for the head cameras, so I wanted to just leave the stickers off there just so you could see how that clear blue part is going to actually look. Around here onto the back of the head is going to be hard to see, so I'm going to remove that there just for a second so you can see. And that clear blue part also feeds through to the back 2 cameras, one on the top and then one on the back right here as well. So all of those cameras are an actual clear part, one single clear part that gives you all those cameras, including the eyes as well. But I did opt to put the stickers there on the eyes since those are not supposed to be blue, but they are supposed to be yellow. So as I was saying, that's all the stickers for the main body. Then of course we had those kind of plastic stickers here on the backpack, and those are going to go inside these wing parts. So each of your 4 wing sections is going to have this gimmick where this part on the top opens up like this, and at the end here it kind of helps if you push down that little part while pressing this up at the same time. That's going to reveal stickers here on the front and on the back side. So you have 2 up there, and then at the bottom part as well, bring this back around here, that part extends down, and so once you have the top part extended up and bottom part extended down, we've got 4 stickers on each of the 4 wings, making a total of 16 of these metallic kind of plastic pink stickers there, which look really nice, I have to say, on the finished kit. All this white though could do with a little bit of panel lining. If you have some gray panel liner, just throw that in, and a couple of these little details around here will help to kind of break up the white in the wings a bit as well, but that pink definitely helps. I also want to take off the backpack here for a second, as it is meant to be its own kind of separate thing, and you do have a hard point right here for being able to plug the backpack onto an action base and have that just kind of flying off on its own, which is pretty cool. And this is pretty standard articulation here, forward and back movement. You can also rotate and then obviously lift up these sections here as you might like. And for the gold section too, there's all this kind of section is one big part, and then you have this separate part which kind of pops up there like that as well in that section. So that all looks pretty nice. The gold part underneath the bottom of there also looks really good. But as for the main kit, like I was saying at the beginning of the review portion, the construction in particular of the torso was really interesting, and so we have some very nice movement here, nice ab crunch forward and back there for this section. It kind of bends even at the hip to bend backwards really nicely there, and then side to side movement, so some really nice range of articulation. The neck is a double ball joint here, so you can get full movement out of that, also any which direction you might want to look. The shoulder joint will swing out into the front for a good range of movement upwards with the shoulder armor, and the shoulder joint also will extend up a little bit to be able to bring the arm up pretty high there as well. The rest of the arm movement is going to be pretty standard with just a rotation there above the bicep, double joint at the bicep. The wrist is on a ball joint, but we do have an added joint here in the forearm between that main part of the forearm and this kind of wrist cuff part there. That part is also connected via a ball joint, so you can kind of move this part around a little bit there as well, which is pretty cool, which should make angling this part with the shield attached on there pretty nice for posing. The skirt section is pretty standard here with our front skirts. You can clip them apart for individual articulation. Not really much to look at on the underside there. The back skirt is fixed in place. Our side skirts are the cannons, which of course can open up. You extend the front part up and the back part back. And then these don't extend or have like a pop out handle or anything else with them. They just extend out like that, and that's going to be the extent of their movement, but those do close up and move out of the way pretty nicely. For our hip section, which is also once again pretty unique as far as an HG kit goes, the hips, each of the legs is connected via a part which can actually extend out and down to the side here like this. So that's going to make for some pretty nice range of movement when posing. That means you can extend that out and you can like bring the leg up here pretty high. Double joint, of course, there at the knee, and this part here at the back of the leg can also move a little bit. Kind of interesting though that this part here actually comes out kind of easily. If you just pull on that, it just pulls right out. There's not really a way that that's actually locked into place there, so just be careful with that. The ankle armor is also interesting how it's actually attached at the back of the ankle and just kind of floats freely. You can move that as you like. And then we do have some toe movement of the toe being able to move up and down, the foot itself ultimately being able to point all the way down there like that, and then all the way up to there, and then really nice angles side to side, being able to put the foot all the way angled to the side like that, where you would be able to get a very wide stance while keeping the feet flat on the ground. It's pretty cool. So very nice articulation. Let's see it in action here. Because overall, as I think you may have guessed, I have a very overwhelmingly positive view of this kit. The design is still, I mean, I will be perfectly honest, it's not really one of my favorite Gundam designs out there, but the kit is definitely very, very impressive. So if this is a design that you're into, I would absolutely recommend checking out this kit. And even if it's a design that you're not super into, I would still recommend checking out the kit just because it is so nice. There's a couple of little small nitpicks I can make here and there, like the beam saber handles and the side skirts pop out too easily, and I wish we would have had the inclusion of at least maybe one open expressive hand for the left side or something. So it's just kind of the standard qualms when it comes to HG kits. I do kind of wish that they would come with more hand parts generally, and then for this kit in particular, I think it also would have been nice to include just at least some sort of simple action base in there, just because it is very back heavy. You can get it to stand on its own without the use of an action base, but it's definitely one that's going to be considerably much more fun to pose if you have an action base that you can use with this. It's just going to give you so many more options in terms of posing the kit. Because then obviously with the excellent articulation that the kit has and the nice range of accessories that we have here between the two rifles being able to combine into one big mega rifle, and the two beam sabers being able to combine into a double-ended beam saber, and then you have the katana, and then you have the beam cannon on the forehead, and then you also have the rail guns on the side skirts, and then just everything going on with the wings on the back as well. There's a lot to work with, and that is one thing, I guess, you know, whether you see it as a pro or a con, when you're posing this kit, there's a lot of parts to adjust, so it does take a minute to get it into an awesome pose, but it is very easy to get it into an awesome pose just because the kit, like I said, the articulation is so good, and just the overall engineering of the kit and the accessories that we have here are all so nice that you can absolutely get it into loads of awesome poses. It might just take you a minute to just kind of get everything adjusted. The beam rifles are a little bit sticker heavy. That could also be something that you may not be too impressed with this kit. Honestly, like I said, it is a high grade at the end of the day. It would have been nice to maybe have one or two additional parts in there for a little bit better color separation for the beam rifles, and maybe have a little bit fewer stickers. But ultimately, guys, I think the pros vastly outweigh the cons, but I'm anxious to hear your thoughts. So let me know what you think about the kit down in the comment section below. Are you impressed with this? What do you like about it? Let me know in the comment section. And of course, if you want to check out the kit for yourself, you can check the link in the video description to USA Gundam Store. I would highly recommend this kit, and all the other kits in the line that I've checked out so far have been absolutely amazing. So definitely check out some of these HG Seed Freedom kits there at USA Gundam Store. And as always, guys, if you wouldn't mind leaving a like if you enjoyed the video, making sure you're subscribed. I really appreciate all of your guys' support. Thank you so much. Until next time, I hope you all have a great day. See you guys later. Bye-bye.